you did not know about, jot down. Fine. And if I'm also fast, please let me know. All right. So on this note, let's start what we have for you today. Yesterday was more of preamble, gentle introduction. Okay. So trying to get ourselves up to speed. All right. And today we want to at least write some simple programs and debug them together. Simple programs. And introduce you to the concept of getting help whenever you program. Okay. And also, how you kind of come out of, let's say, how you kind of find the resources you need. Okay. Especially trying to understand how the compiler works. Now, usually you might say, fine, sir, Python is an interpreted language, no doubt about it. But I'm going to show you something which I feel, okay, when we run a single line, type a single line of code, it is interpreting it, versus when you run a block of code, you can try to call it as you are doing a compilation. Okay, so because of that, we will start first to understand, since it is for absolute beginners at sub-zero level. Okay, let's understand how Python is different from other programming languages. Fine. And we look at IDEs. Okay, now, so this one, ideally Python idle, they call it, is still under your Python IDE, and versus the other mobile compilers or online compilers. So I can call them as mobile compilers. Okay. Now, and the concepts of variables with suitable examples, strings, keywords, and naming rules or nomenclature. And we demo this by showing you some example programs. All right. So on that note, let's start. Fine. So, some certain things you should understand, because I know that majority of you are versatile. Okay, sorry, not versatile. You are okay with C, because I cannot even claim that I am versatile in Python. Hence, I cannot call myself a Python developer. Obviously, I can't claim that. Okay. So if that is the case, I want to know, you might want to know what is actually the difference between Python and other programming languages. And it's actually a very interesting question that we need to answer, okay? Or an interesting observation. So how is Python different from other programming languages? So by way of introduction, okay, you might understand that Python is obviously interpreted. We will come to that. High level, and what interests me is general purpose programming language. All right. So what I said yesterday, that we can use Python for everything, and I addressed that. Okay. In case if you are joining us for the first time, fine, I have created a different playlist, and I call that what? Python. 50 days of challenge. Okay, in Python 50 days challenge, no problem. So we are going to use Python for everything. So we use it for web, we use it for mobile, we use it for everything. Fine. Now, whereas C is kind of okay, we say procedural oriented programming. Yes, it's still general purpose, but again, you will understand why Python is very easy, as if you look at the point number 2. Easy to write code in Python, as the number of lines is comparatively less. Obviously, it's not that hard, but again, for starters, right, it might look little challenging. Speed of execution, yes, interpreted programs are slower, no doubt about it. Okay, that's why if you are working on mission critical applications, mission critical, can you give me example? Mission critical apps, like what? Apps that will send the man to moon, okay, or anything like that, or even working on maybe like designing embedded applications. Yes, we can use Python also for that, but people prefer Objective-C. Even some of them, you know about your access point switches, yes, Cisco firewalls and things like that. They still use what? C for that, okay, like mass mission, anything, okay, anything aeronautical, whatever, embedded applications, okay, is better developed in this. Fine. Now, one thing you should understand is that Python is dynamically typed. Okay, keep that in mind. That means if I don't even need to declare the type of a variable before I use it. Example, when you program in C, you have int a, so this will take is of type integer. This variable is of a type integer. You can take float a. So the difference here between int a and float a is like here I can say 10.0, it will take it, but if it is int a, I cannot say 10.0. It will throw an error because it is of type what? Int. So I have to say 10, right? Fine. So in Python, we don't need to declare the type. Fine. So this gives me the flexibility to just don't worry about the type, okay, and memory allocation also, because it will be determined at execution. Fine. Whereas in C, obviously, you must create it, and then only, you can assign values to them and then proceed from there. Fine. It's easy to learn, obviously, read, write, and do everything. No doubt about it. Fine. And we have said that the complexity, because if it's easy to learn from here, ease of use, then the complexity is obviously reduced, right? Fine. Applications, yes. All general purpose applications, as we saw yesterday, including websites and companies also that heavily build their technology stack on Python, are there only because of what? Yes, it is mission. Yeah, I cannot say mission critical because you can develop applications easy and in less time. Fine. Now, it's generally used for what? Hardware related, like I was telling you about embedded systems and IoT related projects. No problem. Now, one of the things that interests us is data structures using C. There are so many books on that, right? In which you have to create the structure, implement them, okay, explicitly in what? C. Okay. Whereas in what? Python, okay, many of them have what? Built-in libraries. So we call them like built-in functions or libraries and everything that makes it very, very easy, that you don't need to recreate. They will say you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Now you might say, sir, okay, you didn't tell us about the history. So why I did not touch on the history is, it's very, very easy and it's already covered in the previous tutorials, which was shared in the group, right? Fine. And one of the things you should understand is the concept of pointers. Anyway, even Java also avoided pointers, okay? Python and then Java. Java also avoided pointers, fine, because, and also Java forgot about what we call the friend function, okay? That also was deleted in that. And you see here, Python, C uses pointer. So think of pointer very simple as what? A memory location. So if I want to access a variable A, I can access it, or variable C, I can access it through the what? Memory location. And this is a problem actually, because if you do that, what happens is you can actually hack into a secured application. Hence, Python says, I will never give room to that. Okay, I won't allow that. And that was also what Java did. There are a couple of things also Python did not support. Okay, example, there is no explicit switch case in Python. Hence, I address that also in one of my lectures, how you can actually implement switch cases using maybe concept of classes, using concept of what if statements and stuff like that. So having said all this, now let's see our simple hello world program, and we will execute that now. Simple hello world program in various languages. Okay, now I want you to focus on C and Python for now. Okay, so let's count the number of lines of code including the header files. 1, 2, remember the block also, opening is also a line, 3, 4, and this last one, 5. This is in C. If you bother, you can look at how you write the same thing in C++, no problem. And Java is so funny, okay? Because without including this only, they will not even see the entrance. The main method, obviously, you cannot write anything in Java. Fine. And then the funny way how you save the the file name as a class name, and even if you did not save it, how you run that, all those overheads is removed in Python with just one single line of code. Print hello. Now you might say, yes, this you did not close it. That is true. You can put it like this only. And the beauty part is actually I can write this also like this, print, okay, with a single quote also. I'll say hello. Fine. I can also do this. Okay, hello world. I did not complete that. Did you observe something here? Let me erase this. In all these programming languages, at the end of the print statement, you must put a semicolon. Look at it here. Semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. But in this guy, nothing. Okay? So, you see, debugging becomes easy. Debugging becomes easy. So I'm getting a message like, sir, you are supposed to treat Git and GitHub today. So what happened to that? So please understand something, okay? I want to ensure that our new students, we bring them up to speed, okay, before we introduce them to the concept of Git and GitHub. So how do we actually control the versions of our software, okay? So maybe after a couple of classes, we will do that. Fine? Next, so having said that now, okay, you need to understand something which we are going to use. We are going to encounter them as we continue programming. So the first will be variable. Don't worry, just remember it stores values, okay, can be stored. Oh, values can be stored. I missed out this in variables to simplify calculations. Don't worry, you might say, okay, sir, what is this variable? Very simple. Many of you drink tea, right? Fine. So if I want to take tea, I have to take it in a glass cup, right? So this is my cup of tea. Okay, they say it's not my cup of tea, so this is my cup of tea. Fine. Okay, then obviously it is hot, BC. Then I have my cup of coffee. Okay, I have my cup of coffee, so this is coffee. Now I will ask you this question, okay? If you look at this, cup is the what? Cup is the what? Variable, because I can drink my tea in, obviously, even students in the hostel, they know better, okay? If you want to drink something, even water, they can drink in plastic cup, they can even drink in paper cup, they can drink in anything, right? So this cup can be glass cup, paper cup, even they drink from their plates also. I have seen them, okay? So this cup can change, right? I can drink from glass cup, paper cup, and stuff like that. But if I look at the value, the T is the value. So T will remain the same irrespective of where I put it, right? Hence, variable is just used to store this temporarily. Why did I draw these two cups then? For that cup of tea and cup of coffee. One of the things we always do, and I do that actually, okay? Many a times I want to like take the content of this, okay, of coffee and put it inside. Please look here, I have this glass, right? Glass of tea and glass of coffee. Both are they have some values. Remember now, this value is here what? Tea, the other value is coffee. So you can call it now, you can call it cup 1, sorry. You can call it cup 1, cup 2, no problem, okay? So I can rename it as cup 1. Now, how do I write it properly? Let's write here, cup 1 is holding what value? Tea. Okay, is a string, no problem. You can use single quote or double quote. Then cup 2 is holding what? Coffee. No problem. Okay. Now you might say, okay, so you have introduced something now. What is this equality sign? We are going to encounter, we are going to study them together. Okay. So what this is saying that whatever it is in this variable which can change, I want you to take this value and put inside the variable. Hence, I'm using assignment operator. So for now, keep this in mind that this assigns value to a variable. If that holds true, okay, and it holds true, now my simple thing I want you to think now, don't code, just think. I want you now to take whatever is in this, okay, cup 2, this is cup 2, don't forget, okay, pour the content of cup 2 into cup 1. Okay, and then remember both are filled, okay, and then pour the content of cup 1 into cup 2. How will you do this? Okay, so I'm looking at the chat box now. Those in first year, do you know how to do this? Don't program, please. Don't just program. Variable is very, very important, okay, in whatever we do in computing. And if you understand these concepts of variable, strings, and then identifiers, your programming concept is, I mean, you have made everything easy. So do you know how you can actually do this? I know it will buffer for a while, so I'm just waiting. So what do we do? Who knows the answer? If you can actually message in the WhatsApp group also, so that it will be faster. I'm looking at all of them. Okay, so who knows what we can do? Good boy. Okay, no, I don't want moderators to answer. Okay, I don't want moderators to answer. So what we do is we take an empty cup. Okay, so let's call this cup empty cup. Okay, so we take an empty cup, we call it cup 3. So what do we do now? Now we say, because we cannot once, even if, okay, one thing that students will always say, sir, okay, what if the quantities are not same? Let's say there is half, this is half filled. Okay, coffee here, tea here. You can pour both of them together, but is that what you want to do? Do you want to mix tea and coffee together? No. If you mix them together, then you have overwritten them. So what we do, we take an empty cup, right? So we take whatever is in cup 2, pour it in cup 3, which is empty. Fine. That means now cup 2 is empty. It doesn't contain coffee again. Now we take whatever is in cup 1 and pour it in what? Cup 2, right? So that means cup 1 is empty. And finally, we take whatever is in cup 3 and pour it back in cup 1, such that this guy again becomes empty. That's it. So you have swapped this. Yes, I know many of you are thinking, sir, we can also swap it without using third variable. No problem, I get that. But practically speaking, please tell me, can you add these two together and subtract? Practically speaking, okay? You have coffee, you have tea. Can you do, I know what you are doing. You add this, you subtract from that, and then you get. That you can do programmatically. But if it is practical, this is the only way to do this. Okay, as far as I know, this is the only way, practically. Now, because of this now, another thing that interests us is string. Okay, so many of the things I have written actually are of type string only. So whatever you say in declare in Python, it is actually of type string. And strings are surrounded in either single quotes or your what? Double quotes. Fine. Don't get confused with triple quotes. This is single, and I'll tell you this is double. And we come to triple quotes actually. Now, we have triple double quotes. This is triple double quotes, opening. And we have another triple double quotes, closing. Versus, we have single quotes, triple single quotes, opening. Versus triple single quotes, closing. These two we use for what? Adding comments. We'll come to that. And why is comment so essential? Now, there's something that interests us, keywords, and I'm going to show you practically. So keywords, they are reserved words. You cannot modify, you should not use them as function names, okay, variable names, or even any other type of identifier. Why? Python has already reserved it. Don't worry. What are they, sir? Can you give example? Fine. I'm not going to give you all the list. It will be your homework. I'll give you only few. Homework is, can you list at least 20 keywords in Python? Remember, by the way, when you are coming to meet me, for those that are in MITM, okay, you have to bring your notes, fine? And for most of you that are not here, that are from outside the city or even outside MITM, myself, no problem. You have to scan it and push it to your GitHub. I will download that and I'll look into that and give you feedback also, no problem. So there are just write about 20 of the keywords. So I give example quickly. Print is a keyword which we always use. So int is a keyword, eval is a keyword, maybe like input is a keyword, for is a keyword, if is a keyword, while is a keyword. Lots of them are there. Okay. Hence, you cannot save your file, because I will show you how I save. I'll save like day1 underscore p1. I save my stuff as day1 underscore p1 p1.python.py. Okay, or I just say day1.python.py. Okay, you cannot say int1.py. If you say int1 also, it will save. But what does this mean actually, right? Fine. So because of that, the naming rule says that you shouldn't actually use Python keyword. Fine. Now, one of the things that we always do as programmers, when you are starting to program, is to do what? Yes, Akash, thank you. You also said empty cup tray, good. And even written, fine, good. Okay, so yes. So what you normally do is say you started to program now, you need to say my first program in Python. So what do we do? So we need to ensure that this is non-executable. Non-executable. We don't want the interpreter to execute it. Executable. Okay. So what can we do now? Either we can, since it's in one line, we use hash. So hash symbol is used, for single line comments, we use hash symbol. Then for multi-line comments, yes, you can use those triple quotes which you saw. Okay, so let's say I've written this and I say I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. Something like that. And some blah blah blah. Okay, blah blah whatever. Blah blah blah. You can also write, no problem. So I want all these two approaches, right? I can keep adding hash, hash, hash. But what if there are hundreds of them actually? You see, you waste time adding all the hashes. And if you want to uncomment, it's going to be crazy. Please listen. Yes, with IDEs like PyCharm and stuff, it is easy. Don't worry. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your IDLE, and I'm going to show that in a while. So what you do, you instead of all this, you just drop this and then use either your single triple quote or you use your double triple quote. So I'm sorry, double quote. So I will say single triple quote, then I close it here. This is a comment. Or I will say double triple quote, and then I'll close it here like that. Okay, done. Fine. So if that is the case, before I get to question and answering section, let's start running some programs. Okay, so I'll minimize this now. And I told you in the previous lecture that you can actually run this, okay, by going to online and downloading some application. So let's start doing the same thing here. So now I'm ready to write my first Hello World program. I need the IDE. So IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Simply put, okay, it is a platform or a template where you run your Python program. So I'm taking you to Google, okay, and I just type Python IDEs. It's telling me you should type Python IDE. Why are you confusing us? Fine. And you see the best integrated development environment software for Python. You have seen this, you have seen that, you have seen all of them. So what we are interested in is to download this from python.org. Now, I showed this yesterday. Sir, why are you wasting time? Why are you showing it again? Now, the reason I want to show this is to introduce you to the documentation in Python. Okay, so you can see so many tutorials also out there, but the website is called python.org. Why is it not going there? python.org/download. Okay, so python.org. Now, once I'm here, you see here, download, okay? And one of the things I want you to understand is this. You can, if you have time in between, okay, you can look at the documentation, okay? So the documentation, I'll just show here, new tab, Python docs. So you have many of the things here, like what is new in Python 3.10, right? So this actually you should understand. It has inbuilt improved intelligence, okay, and lots of stuff. And when it was actually released, you can see, okay? So we are using the latest version, actually. So today is November 13, Ari, and the study is November 13. Okay, maybe they updated it, okay, because I've downloaded this previously. And you can see what other they have even added parenthesized context managers, okay? And then you see better error messages, and we are going to see it now actually, okay? And then not only that, it will prompt you. If you open a curly brace and refuse to close it, it will tell you exactly this was never closed. You see, where is it? I opened this here. See this carat symbol? Okay, telling you, fine, bro, look at this place. You are actually trying to use a dictionary. Okay, this with key, with value. I don't know what you are doing, but you refuse to close it. Hence, it will tell you exactly. Okay, instead of you to see end of line, end of file, or whatever, end of line while scanning, it will directly tell you where it is exactly. Now, it will tell you here also generated expression must be parenthesized. So you see here, exception, how you handle them, everything, lots of what? Improvements has been done here. So this is not what we want to do. What we want to do is to download this. So you click on this button and you get it downloaded. Fine. Now, once it's done, you just follow the on-screen information. I'm not going to install it now because it will overwrite whatever I have. See, it's saying modify, repair, uninstall. Okay, follow it is very easy. And please see the tutorial also on how you set the path. Very important. Okay, so Once we are done, let's start running this now. Okay, now you might say, sir, I use PyCharm, I use Eclipse, I use whatever. Please don't worry. For now, just follow along with this. You'll understand why I'm emphasizing this. So for now, this is more than enough for you. Just type IDLE. So I want you to understand two things here. Okay, so once I type IDLE, okay, I will let me just end this for now. So I will have something here. Okay, IDLE, and I'm going to type Python, Python, from your search bar. Okay, from your search bar. Now I'm typing Python. Let me keep them side by side and let's understand something here. Okay, now you see this is called Python shell. Please take a closer look at it, and you've seen this. So what is this called now? So this is called your Python prompt. Now the question is, please look here. I know many of you may not have used run Python from here, but if you see, this says this Python interpreter is in a Conda environment, but this environment has not been activated. Don't worry, libraries may fail to load. Don't worry about Anaconda environment, but if you are interested, I have a video tutorial on what understanding Anaconda, virtual environments in Anaconda. You can actually look into that to have an understanding of what you are going to do. But for now, don't worry about virtual environments. We will get to that later. Okay. Now look at this. So the question is, what is the difference actually? I want you to find it out yourself. So let's write the first hello world program, since you know, and I'm going to write it in both. So let's start from our Python IDE. Please look here. It says, let's go out to the prompt. It says type help, okay, to get help. But this one says type help. Okay, I think now you look here, license and whatever. Okay, information. Type help again, copyright and credit or license as a method. But you may not understand why this is like this, and then in the other cases they did not put it. All are same only. Okay, instead of repeating it here, open braces and close it, I should just do it here once for all. Okay, now what I will do, I will go back here now, and then I will just write my first hello world program in both of them, and you decide. So I'm saying print what? Here I will say, I'll use single quote for now. Okay, I'll say hello. Okay, word, WRLD, fine. Now let's run it before we make mistakes. Okay, so please look here. You see here, file, edit, share, pay attention to that. All these menus, these menus, okay, or this file menu is missing here. Fine, that's why this is the prompt, and you can see it is calling python.exe. Fine. Don't worry. And then this is that. Now, one, did you see here? You get asterisk here. Please look here. IDLE shell star, meaning I have not saved this. But will I be able to run it? Yes. Press enter. Hello world has come. Let's type here. Okay. Now I'm going to type the same thing here. Print. Then I'm going to go back there. I will say hello. Okay. Hello world. Fine. WRLD. Same thing. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just close this. Press enter. Hello world has come. Now look here. On the title bar, there is nothing like asterisks and stuff, meaning whatever I type here, okay, I will not be able to save it actually. Once I close this interpreter, it is gone only. But with this, see this one, I can actually save it. Please look here. Though that star has gone, I can actually save this, right? But you are going to see something now. Let me save this, and then I have a folder on the desktop which I called 50 days to 2020 challenge. So please use a default nomenclature, day 1, okay, underscore p1, okay, first program.python, so that when I push this out, you will understand what we did on the first day. Now this is what is there. Okay, now let's close both of them. Now if I want to open this, I will just go to CMD. Fine, sorry, I just type Python in this, Python. Now once I type Python, open this one. Fine, there is no option, right, to open whatever I have saved. Hence I will stop using this interpreter. Okay, the command prompt. Let's close it. Now the next one I have is IDLE. I'll just type IDLE. Fine. Now please pay attention here. As soon as I call up IDLE, my insertion operator is still here. Don't worry. Okay, this is the prompt telling me this is where I have to type the message, whatever, anything I feel like typing. Now let me go and say file now. Open file. Open, not new file. Please pay attention. Open. Now go to that location where it is. It is on the desktop only. this one, and did you see the one that, but just watch what happens. As soon as I open this now, see, it opens it in a different a different screen or window. It is now in a different window. Please, let's compare both of them side by side. Now, this was where we typed that program. We typed the program here only. You can see it. We typed the program here. Okay. But when we opened it, we opened it in a different place now. Okay. And here, what can you observe? What did you observe? This side, you are getting all the hints. Example. See, this is of the same color. Okay, sorry. Look at this. Type help and stuff like that, This type help, different, right? Different color. And the program, actually, the last program is print, okay, hello world, with the output also, right? Now, this one, actually, I can think of it as my compiler, where I can write hundreds, maybe thousands lines of codes, and it will still execute. But in this one, please look here, the interpreter, I just want to introduce you to the concept of compilation and interpretation. Example, this one, as soon as I write a program and write anything and press enter, it executes it and gives me the error. Example, why don't I show it? I'll just say print. Please look here, print. I'll just say here, I will say hello. Please listen, I refuse to close this. I press enter. Now see here, unterminated string literal detected at line that. So I did not even close this. But if I type the same thing here, look here, and I can actually delete whatever is here, okay? So I'll just say print, okay? I'll do this, I'll say hello, same thing, hello, okay? Now I did not close it. I'm going to delete this. Instead of me to delete this, now what I will do, I'll add it as comment. Add this guy as a comment also. This, I'm not getting anything, right? But I will only get, now look here, there's another what? Option that has appeared in the menu bar. Look, file, edit, whatever is there, file, edit. Format has appeared actually, and run has also appeared. But here there is no format, there is no run. Debug is here, but there is no debug here. So with this, actually, I have another shortcut called F5 to run this program. See here, okay? And with format, I can actually change other things also. We are not looking into customizing this because we will use a different IDE, okay? And indentation, we get to that later. So what happens now? This error means this interpreter is easy for me to do debugging. Whereas this one, I'm calling it a compiler because only the error will come at runtime when you compile time, sorry. Now I'm going to press F5. That is what he told me, right? I'm pressing F5. He says, save this work. I said, okay. Now, did you see he throws it as an alert box, as an alert message in an alert box. See here, alert box, syntax error, unterminated literal string detected at line 5. Now, see the problem if you are beginning to program. Where is line 5? I cannot see the line number. Hence, you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it's not pointing where it is, but in this interpreter, see, it highlighted this guy that I did not close it. Now, one of the advantage of this one, the one on the right, which I call a compiler for now, over this on the left, which I call an interpreter, is that with this, you can actually go back, see, add that, close it without retyping the entire thing, and run this again by pressing F5. Now it's, sorry, invalid syntax, you forgot comma. Yes. See there, okay? Because it's what? Look here. It opened everything. Look here. As what? As Python syntax. So you can actually use the concept of what now? Multi-line comment to comment this out. Now, where do I close it? What I'm interested is in the last, only the last one. So see, I've closed it. Fine. Now I'm going to run this now and there won't be any error. Okay. Now I will get, see, please look here. It will still print in the interpreter, in the shell. See, whenever I run this program, I'm going to run it again, F5, it's printed in the interpreter. So you see there, fine. Whereas in this case, see, I cannot do anything there, see, okay, I have to retype it again. I just press that shortcut, okay, and it came. I have to retype the entire thing, and then only I will close that, okay, and then run it, okay. I hope you got the point. So moving forward, we might use this one, okay, to write all our programs and then do what? Execute them at once. I hope this makes sense. So please let me understand something, sir. US window plus arrow for arranging. Okay, sorry, I didn't understand. US window Okay, use window and for arrow for arranging. Okay, thank you. Okay, fine. It's a suggestion. Okay, thank you. All right. So this is fine. And then one of the things we should understand whenever we do something is what you call Python is very conscious about indenting text. Okay, so instead of me talking, let me just demo it here as you are looking at it on the screen. Let's say you want to say and this usually happens when you start making comparisons. But for now, let me just introduce the concept of indentation. Say I want to check whether A is greater than B. So instead of me assigning variables here, let me assign values to them. I'll say if 6 is greater than what? If 6 is greater than 3, okay? Now please look here. Okay, is a condition, colon, enter. Now, did you see where it has come, right? By default, I will now go back. Please look here. I will go back here completely. I will say print, okay? 6 is larger. Okay, 6 is larger, something like that. Fine. Now I understand that we have a mixed crowd, guys. Okay, so please, I want those that are also new to this to also say something. Okay, as the class proceeds, definitely everybody will get used to my system, my way of teaching. So print that 6 is larger. Okay, now please look here. One of the things we should understand is if we open with a single quote, we should close with a single quote. If we open with double quotes, we should close with double quotes. So for now, the mistake I'm making is indentation error, saying I should tab this. But look here, syntax error, expected an indented block after if in that. Okay, and it points there also. So if I just press this now, nothing happens here, right? Fine. So what I can do is I will just move this now from here to there so that you understand what we are doing. Okay, now I paste this here. So the beauty part is you can actually do anything here. Now I'm going to indent this. So the easiest way is just to take it back to the what? The colon. Okay, after the colon, and then press enter. You see it has come there. Alternatively, if it is here, you can press tab. Okay, it has come there. Better still, use this. Okay, now, okay, so when I run this now, I can close this interpreter first for now. Let's see. So once I run this now, I'm not going to get that fine. Okay, it's going to open up. Fine, 6 is larger. You got the point? Good. So 6 is larger. I have it there. Fine. Now, you got the concept of why this indentation is proper, is actually worth doing. Now, let's make another mistake. So what's the mistake? Let's put this. I will say, let's say 13. Is this greater than that? I'm not comparing for now. I'll say it is lesser so that you understand what I'm saying. Lesser. Okay, fine. It's not greater. Now, what I will do, instead of using double quote, I will use single quotes to close it. Okay. For now, yes, the first one I'll get the output of the first one, but the second one will give me an error. Now, see here. Unterminated literal, okay, detected at line 9. Then you'll be wondering, okay, so what is this now? So here, if you do not understand what you can do, actually, you can go back to this and run it here. Fine. So here, remember, you have to indent it. Go back, enter. Now you see, okay, this is what it's telling me. All right, so I need to use this exactly. So what I will do is, okay, fine, thank you for pointing that out. I'll go back here, okay, then and play this, and then I have to close this, and that error is solved. Okay, fine, sorry. So once this is done, I press enter. Okay, now it comes inside there, okay, and says okay, fine, done. Okay, so I can write some methods and things like that, and then run the program. Done. Now what we want to do is this. Okay, since we have seen the concepts of variables, okay, I want you actually to know how we can use variables now to make our program readable. Okay, now remember, naming, you should not name with the keywords. You should not name with you should make sure your variable is meaningful, right? So if that is the case, I'm going to remove this guy now. I'll just add comments to this. Okay, now I need to quickly explain something here. Many of you are saying, sir, okay, I don't have a laptop, but I don't want to waste time. Can I start programming immediately? Yes. So let's go to this. I said that yesterday, but let's do that now. Okay, what did I call it? Collab, right? So you have a Gmail. You can see my Gmail is there. Fine, I have signed it to my mail. You can see it here. So I'll just type collab. So why there are so many online compilers, but I deem it fit, or your interpreter also, for you to only use collab, because you don't need to do any configuration at all, and it is with you wherever you go. Now, once you open Colab, you should get something like this. I think somewhere here, okay, and overview, I think you should get something like this. What is collaborator? Something like that, okay? So that should be what you should get, something like that, okay? Now, in case, you should get some welcome message, cancel, let me cancel this. You get this. This is usually the first page, okay? And now, if you look properly, you see something by the left, right? Getting started. And what is collaborator? Look here. For short, allows you to write and execute Python in your browser with what? Free access to GPU and easy sharing. Whether you guys are a student, a data scientist, or AI researcher, Colab make your work easier. You can watch the introduction also to Colab and everything. Fine. Now you can execute these lines of code just to see what you can do. Otherwise, you open a new one. This is welcome to collaborator is what it's called. You click on file, click on new notebook. So remember the concept of notebook where you write notes, right? Very simple. So let's now use variables here and just run it. Now look here. Again, you can give it a name. And you ask the question, so where does this stay? It stays in your Google Drive. Can you see it? Fine. So I call it day one underscore. Okay, I'll just call only day one dot. Now, please look here. It's no longer the .py. It is now IPYNB, meaning Interactive Python Notebook. IPYNB stands for Interactive Python Notebook. No problem. Remember, it's a Python only script that you're writing. So let's run something quickly. Okay. So here, let's print whatever we printed just to see we are on the same line. Print. Then you go there. You say this. You say hello world WRLD. You don't need to bother, right? I did not download anything. Please look here. You have to either you use the shortcut Shift Enter to run and go to the next cell, or you just click on that button, this button only, okay? And as it's executing, please look here. This, again, the only drawback here, for now, is that you need a strong internet connection, okay? And you see this cell is executed in this time around, whatever, okay? It says run cell, press Ctrl Enter. Changes are saved automatically, so you don't need to save it. One of the things that interests me is your runtime. Let's click on this. Now you see this change runtime type. By default, accelerator is what? None. So I think this non-accelerator is like you using your CPU because it says you have access to a GPU. So click the drop down arrow, you get GPU, which stands for Graphic Processing Unit. And with this GPU, you can actually run complex programs and applications also. Okay, we will get to that when we start our machine learning and machine learning class also. Okay, or we start doing something in image processing and some stuff that requires graphics. The last one is your TPU. Okay, I'm not sure any of you in college has a high-end system with a TPU. Even I don't have, mine has a GPU. So once I choose TPU now, it says yes, get the most out of Colab. Avoid using GPU unless you need one. You got the point. But since it's free, let me use it. Look at this, allocating this. Fine. So let's introduce the concept of variables quickly. Now you remember, let's do some additions quickly. 5 plus 8. Just press enter, shift enter, done. I did not even say print 5 plus 8, right? So this is a dynamic type we are talking about. See, Python knows for sure that this is dynamic type. However, if I say, please look here, hello, okay, we will look at all these things later, plus 3. What do you think will happen? Shift enter. Look here. Obviously, cannot concatenate string. It's telling you not integer to what? String. So I cannot link a string with an integer. And look at the beauty part of this, okay? There is this search engine, mostly for developers, called Stack Overflow. So when you click on this, see, it opens in a new tab and it takes you to Stack Overflow. How to resolve type error? Please look here. Very simple. Okay. So I'm teaching you not only how to eat fish, but how to go and get the fish yourself. Now, updated code. Now, look for answers. Look for the one with the highest number of updates. And tick mark also. Let me see. I did not see anyone with a tick mark here, but it's very simple. Okay, look at this. Okay, it says you have to change the type. So I decided to make, okay, that's not working there. Now Python working a bit differently, not in Java, for example, the value of concatenating this. So far your program can look like this. Okay, we throw an error like this. However, you can do this. Did you see here? Please look here. To solve this issue, just add string to your number or value like this. You got the point? So this is string, and then this also I have to convert it to string. Hence, you got that? Okay, is that? Okay, fine. I know what to do now. I can actually go back here and say str, then I will change this. And you see that string is a keyword, and then I close this, and then I run that. Fine. Okay, you see hello 3 has appeared. Fine? Good. Even without using the print statement. Okay? Fine. Now, we have not used a variable. Let's say I want to refer to this again, 5 plus 8. So what will I do now? I can store this in a variable. Now, I'll say a, okay, or equal what? 5 plus 8. Okay, so I know I need to perform this operation, 5 plus 8. Fine. Now, I can now say b equal what? Maybe 10 times 2. Okay, or times 3. Then c equal what? Say I will say b divided by a. Got it? I press shift enter. Now it has evaluated everything for me, but I need to print that, right? I say print what? C. Okay, print what? And immediately see the beauty part. See, intelligence is built into this. Prints the value to a stream or to system. What's the standard output by default, optional, blah blah blah. I need to print C. Now shift enter. Done. Okay, it will evaluate it and give me the value. Please look here. Again, it chose the type, right? I did not say this is int or this is float. But whenever I perform the division, it returned it as a floating point number. You got the point. So this is the beauty of the dynamic typing in Python. Okay. Now, with this, I want us to run a simple program, little advanced program before we wind up. Please remember, there is something we call typecasting, which we did without you knowing it is called typecasting, right? Where we change one type to another. Example, we change what? Integer to string. You know for sure this is wrong, right? Who does this actually? Who does this? I want to say hello 3. Okay. However, can we do this? Let's see this quickly. Okay. I'll say hello. Okay. Then I will say into 3. Did you guess what the output will be? Now, why is it that plus gave me an error with 3 and multiplication did not give an error? Who knows the answer? Can I get answers in the chat box, please? Why is it that I hope you are following what I'm doing. Why is it that when I tried doing hello plus 3, it gave me an error, but when I did hello into 3, there was no error? Who knows the reason actually? I'll look into that also. Okay, so yes. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, thank you so much. So somebody asked difference between single quote and double quote. Thank you so much. So the difference is, yes, thank you. The difference is just simple, okay? That in Python, both single quote and double quote are treated alike as what? String. So I'm going to show you here, okay? Go back here. So you see here, right, that whenever I say print, let me draw quickly. I said print, okay, this is buffering, print hello, so with single quotes, okay? The same thing I will double quote also. Why don't I show it practically if I've not done that? So let's get back here. So the difference between them is that Python treats them as a string only. Hence, you can use both single and double quote as same. Yes, help is used to print. Oh, hello is to be printed twice. Okay, is the opposite. We are multiplying. Thank you, Danashri. We are multiplying. Okay, so okay, the answer is a plus operator is known as concatenation operator on a string, not arithmetic operator. Okay, so we are permitted to add only operators of the same, operands of the same type. Don't get confused. We are going to treat all these things from tomorrow, okay, onwards. Operands of the same type. Example, 3 plus 2 will give me 5. I cannot say 3 plus high, no. However, if I want to repeat high 3 times, I can type high, or I will say high into 3, which performs multiplication, whereas that plus sign there performs concatenation. So you asked what's the difference between this single quote and double quote. So let's do it here. Hello. Okay, shift enter, it prints hello. Let's print the next one, hello, with double quotes, hello. Shift enter. Okay, so what did you notice? The output is same only, right? See, The output is same. Okay, so Python treats them as same. However, if you want to do documentation, since both of them are treated as string, you can either use the single quote or double quote also, but you have to make it triple. Okay, so please guys, don't just leave the session until we are done. All right, so I want to take questions now. All right, because we have covered so many things here. Actually, we have done casting without knowing. We have done the concept of variables and stuff, but before that I said let's run a bigger complex program, a little complex, not bigger, not so complex. Please look here. So I'm going to run these two programs now. Okay, so before I run them, we want to save it properly in the place where it's supposed to be saved as. I call it 50 days to this challenge, so I call it day 1 underscore p11. Okay, dot python save. Please look here. I commented the first program out, so let me remove it now. Now I'm commented the second one. Fine, I have to close it, otherwise it gives an error. So I need to open this from here, file open. So I will go there, I'll call it this p11. Fine. Now, one screen at a time. Please pay attention to this, please. So you have learned Python, and then you told your mom, see, Mama, I want to design a great calculator. Okay, very simple program which anybody can do. Please don't tell me, sir, you are starting with if statements. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry about this also if you don't understand. I'm just going to explain something here. I want the user to enter the student score, so I'm using input method to accept that, and I want that score to be of type int. In earlier versions of Python, like Python 2.7, you use a val, so you can use int also here. So I'm going to use int in the first case, and in the second case I'll use a val. I'll run this program and we wind up. Guys, please pay attention. Now here what we do, we say enter student score, right? If the score, you know, right, if the score is greater than a threshold, fine. If it's greater than or equal to 90, so the score will range from what now, 90 to what? Now I'm using comments in Java, so 90 to what? Dot 99, even to 100 also. There is no upper limit here, but we should check this, that the score should not go beyond 100, right? Because somebody should not get more than 100, so we can modify it. And the score, please, you have to modify this, and this whatever grade less than or equal to 100. Fine. So if that is the case, give the person an A. If it is between 80 and above and 89, you should give the person a B. If it is between 70 and to 79, give the person a C. Anything less than 50 is an F. But look here, if it is, we run this program and you see what I want to explain in the next one. Okay, now, so it says enter the student's score. I will say 200. Please look here. What grade will it give? It will give an A. No problem. No problem. So I want you to handle this, that this upper limit should not go beyond that. I hope you understood the assignment now. Next assignment. Upper limit should not go. Yes, I know many of you are beginners. Just make an attempt, okay? Write it down. You are meeting me next week, Thursday. No problem. Just try it, okay? Now, if this is the case, let's do something. Let's enter something now, okay? Maybe F5 again. Let me just get the other possibilities. I'll say 63. Obviously, what will it print? It will print a D. Now look here. What do you understand here? Every time, if the condition like 63, it will, instead of it to only check this condition, what is checking? It will check, yeah, I know for sure, but it will start execution from here. It will check this, no. It will again check this, no. It will again check this. It's checking, even when it checks this and the condition is satisfied, what it will do? It will still check this. It will still check this because you're asking that question. We will come to this, okay? I just want you to have a feel that, yes, you can start developing applications even from the first day. So to avoid it, the computation overhead, you might say, so I'm not feeling anything on the, you will understand if you have programmed in early computers that uses like 286 processors, okay, even before Pentium 1 and Pentium 2 processors. I use those type of laptops then. So because of that, you modify it to something else, okay? We call it otherwise. Otherwise, check this. Otherwise, check this. Finally, if all these ones are not there, it must be this guy. So if grade is greater than or equal to 90, it will check this one. So if it is not, it will check this. Fine. Then if its condition is met, it will not check all the remaining, it will not check the remaining. Fine. So we run it, you see it's the same thing only. I'm going to put 63, same thing I'm going to get. So 63, and we wind up with this. So I'm going to enter 63, it will still print what? That you got a D. But if you check the computation time, you see that this actually executed faster than that. Now let's summarize quickly. What exactly did we do in today's class? And I'll give a while to take your questions. So quickly, we go back here. We started by looking at what? I'm going to erase all this. Fine. Here, this is what we have. So erase this quickly. Okay. So what did we do actually? We looked at what? Python versus other programming languages, how simple it is to program in Python. We saw, okay, the concepts of your what do you call it, IDEs, right? Variables, strings, keywords, and naming rules, and basic demo program. So what I always do is this. We try to check whether we did justice to what we planned doing today. Did we do this? Yes. Did we do that? Yes. Did we do this? Yes. Did I give you an assignment? Yes. Now, I want to take questions before we wind up. So if you have something that you want to tell us quickly, this is your time. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat box now, and I know once people feel attendance, they just leave. Please understand, I'm going really slow because we are just starting. Okay, once we are okay with this, I will fly. You can count on me. Okay, I will be really fast. Fine. So let me know if there are other questions. Moderators, can you help me out? I'm just checking. Do we have other questions in the chat box? I'm just checking. Or you can put it in WhatsApp to avoid the delay. And on this note, guys, please ensure that we are on this together. We are going to do this. We're going to make sacrifices for the next 50 days. Okay? So we are in this together, please. Make sure, yes, how to submit assignments. Thank you so much, Lavish. So just keep writing it down. Okay, on the fourth day, I'm going to give you access to the link. GitHub. So you have to create it and only send me the link. Okay, I will show you how to do that. If you have a GitHub account, also no problem. You just upload to your GitHub and give me the link. Okay, and I'll tell you when you have to submit. Yes, could you repeat the assignment? Obviously. So the first one was this program, right? And what I will do, don't worry, everybody is in the group. Okay, I will give little assignments like read up what you have to read up and some stuff. Okay, and I'll push it together so that it becomes uniform. So let me start from the second one. Even I have forgotten the first one. The second one is modify this program using the second one. Okay, just look at this condition, the first one, such that it will not take anything more than 100 and it should not take anything below 0. Now somebody should not score minus 10. Okay, oh, maybe let's do this. This is an interesting thing. Students, please just bear with me. Let's do one thing here. There is an interesting finding now. The interesting finding is what happens when somebody enters minus 50. Have you thought about that? So I want you to handle that condition as well. Please look here. Let's do that quickly. Now, 63 we entered, right? So I'm going to enter the same thing minus 63 now, and I will see what will happen. Can you guess what will happen? I want you to type in the chat box quickly. What happens if I enter minus 63? What do I get? So yes, assignment, obviously I'm going to do that. Okay, should we submit screenshot of the assignment? Okay. Yes, when you write the stuff and get the output, okay, just take a screenshot, document it. Okay, I'll show you samples. Okay, and everything should be uniform. Okay, I'll give you samples of how you should report the assignment, and it should be on your GitHub. Now look here. So at the end of the 50th day, what we should do every day, just write the assignment, keep it down, make your notes, keep it ready. So when you push it on your GitHub, when you look back after the 50th day, you say, wow, I have done so much, right? Fine. So what happens when I enter minus 63? That was the question, right? Now, what did you get? An F. Yes, D is the great result. Okay, good boy, Amit, you are trying. Good, you are trying. So you see, it gave an F, Amit. Okay, it gave an F. Yes, D for the first code, no problem. It gave an F, Daniel Shri, thank you so much. Yes, failed, thank you. But can somebody actually get minus 63 in practicality? No. Yes, so I want you to keep a threshold that this should not go beyond 0. Okay, so it should not go beyond 0. Fine. So on this note, I want to thank you so much for listening, and I believe we should be able to keep the same spirit till we conclude the class. So I will wind up for now, and I will see you tomorrow exactly at 7 p.m. Thank you and have a nice weekend. Bye for now.